I say welcome to the Viewers Media Detox here with the stock, and we're going to be talking about Medal of Honor Warfighter and Black Ops 2 big shooters that are coming out this fall. And I think we're going to start off with Black Ops 2. Stock, I want to get your opinion on what you think Black Ops. I guess what should we say? What you're looking forward to, positives, negatives, anything about Call of Duty.
Okay. Well, first of all, generally the multiplayer is always the portion that I adore the most, I guess. And it does look like it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, Call of Duty hasn't really changed a lot since, Call of Duty 4. It's been essentially the same the same formula. And they've added kill streaks, they've added perks and equipment and stuff. But it seems like, they're trying to change it, a lot more with this one, with, giving you Now they don't just have kill streaks; they have point streaks. So if I'm, doing the objectives, I'm also getting these streaks that allow me to call in gunships or, UAVs and whatever. And they kind of did something similar to that in Modern Warfare 2, in that it's, you didn't have to get a kill streak per se. You had to,
support.
You could die and it would carry over. But I think
I don't think it's carrying over in Black Ops. I think when you die...
No. I'm just saying it's kind of like the same basic idea. But, at the same time, I mean, I think that it's a cool idea, and I think it'll pull the focus away from kill-death ratio. In the past, that's been what a lot of people, oh, are you good at Call of Duty? Let me look at your kill-death ratio. That's been one of the judgmental factors of, is someone a good Call of Duty player? And hopefully, too, with this focus on objectives instead of kills, hopefully it'll also boost, I personally, whenever I play, I like to play Team Deathmatch, because I feel like that's, no matter what game mode you go into, you get, your sole purpose is to get kills. Hopefully I'll want to play something different, like Domination, or something where I get rewarded for it, right? Because I play Battlefield different than I play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty, I mostly play Team Deathmatch. Whereas when I go to, Battlefield, I'll play something like, Conquest. And my KD will be bad, but I could be the top, scorer in the game just because I'm working to get those flags. I'm working to make sure our team has those secured and, whatnot.
But do you think the score streaks will even take away the camping? I mean...
I certainly hope so.
Apparently, like... From what I'm hearing is that you think it's going to take away that focus on KD, and KD is always focused on because people want to camp and upgrade that KD.
Yeah, I think that it's going to make a lot of changes in game modes that aren't Team Deathmatch. In Team Deathmatch, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of changes, because there's no objective other than to kill the enemy, and, so kill streaks will essentially work like they have in the past in Team Deathmatch. But in any other type of, maybe... in Search and Destroy, for example, you get one kill, or let's say 2 kills on the way to plant the bomb, and then you plant the bomb, right? That would count as what has traditionally been in Call of Duty 3 kills, but you got 2 kills in a bomb plant, so you get a streak of some sort. So it'll change the game in that matter. Maybe like when you capture a flag, you get a point towards your point streak. So I think that'll be
promoting the other game modes past Team Deathmatch.
I think if anything, it'll change those the most. It's not going to bring that many changes to Team Deathmatch, but hopefully, I can't say a whole lot until I play the game. But
yeah, do you think that stepping into the future was a good idea? I mean,
I think
it seems like
kind
a lot
of
of other games seem like they still want to stay in that modern. And does that mean that other games are going to start following? Like, is the modern era already dead?
I've been kind of thinking something like that myself. I mean, it seems like there's not really, when you think about war shooters nowadays, you had the past came and gone, and nowadays you won't find a brand new World War II shooter on the shelves. Nowadays it's all about modern, and Black Ops is going to be the first one to go into Battlefield's gone into the future before, but it's going to be the first current gen
Black
one
Ops
to
will
really
probably be a more successful game than
yeah,
Battlefield.
that's what I'm saying. The more it's going to be the first mainstream first-person shooter to go into the future, really. And I don't know. I think that we probably will start to see other games going into the future, but I'm kind of wondering, after they've used up all the future, what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you look at something like Gears of War or Halo, where it's an alternate reality, maybe in the future, maybe in the past, and I think that's where you're almost going to have to go after this, is they're going to have to create an alternate universe, not just...
That just means that unless it's a like war shooters have an expiration date, as in the sci-fi shooters such as Gears of War and Halo don't have that expiration date because they can keep coming up with new areas, species, and all of that, while these guys are staying on planet Earth facing against Russians, Chinese, and North Korea.
Yeah, like Halo, I was just watching the like one of the development vlogs about Halo 4, and they're talking about the guns and how when you pick up a Covenant gun, it builds itself in your hand, with hovering and stuff. In Black Ops, you can't do that. You're bound somewhat by the limits of reality.
Yeah, and I guess that's wow, I lost my own thought there. Going back to just Black Ops 2 overall, I think them stepping into the future is a complete just showing that, we're trying to change a lot with Call of Duty. By stepping into a complete timeline that Call of Duty hasn't touched on, changing up everything when it comes to the create a class. It seems like they're adding a whole bunch of new gadgets, but the thing is every Call of Duty they always add new attachments and all of that, and it's about time that they're actually changing up the
the formula.
Create a class, the formula, because if you're just adding attachments and you have the same thing every year, which is basically what Infinity War did with Modern Warfare, which is just change up the kill streaks and the attachments, but not really changing up the whole gameplay when it comes to just everything. The Create class didn't really change that much since then.
Yeah, and one thing that I wanted to mention to you is that I'm excited for the new, I think they're calling it like the Pick 10, where you pick 10 items to roll into a game with. So I don't use secondary grenades or even primary grenades. I'm not that type of player that uses those a lot in Call of Duty, so I could trade those out and pick up some extra perks or something. But one thing I am wondering is first off, you have 10, and it sounds like primary guns are going to, like, everything that you could possibly pick is going to take up one slot. One thing I'm wondering is, how are they going to limit you on that? Because it wouldn't... I don't know if they're going to, like, are they going to limit you to only going into a game with 2 guns?
So
right? So like, if I drop my pistol, it seems like if I drop my pistol, I can pick up a second primary gun, but I don't know if they're going to allow me to do that. Or could I pick nothing but 10 primary guns? I think it's going to be limited somehow, and I'm interested to get a little more information on how it's going to be limited like that, because I think it's going to judge how a lot of people play the game. But I mean, it is an interesting thought. If I wanted to have nothing but 10 primary guns going into a game, is that possible, or am I limited?
I would hope that they limit it, because I don't want to go back to Modern Warfare 2 with side shotguns. Honestly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That sucked. But
hold on one moment.
Alright, I guess we're taking a quick intermission here. I don't know if I should edit this out the video or keep it. I guess we'll find out when I get to that part. In the comment section below, just start a discussion if you can about what you're excited for with Black Ops 2, if you are excited for it. This is kind of a discussion video about both.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
I mean, it's all good. I don't think we really need to talk about when it comes to the campaign about Call of Duty, because that formula honestly never changes.
Except for the fact that now they're allowing you to take different routes. So, like we saw on the E3 press conference.
Choice?
Yeah. I mean.
Oh yeah,
I
completely forgot about that from E3.
Yeah, exactly. Like they had the one. There's the notable one from E3 is where you're on the bridge and they give you the choice. Do you want to stay up on the bridge and do you want to snipe? And provide cover fire for your squad, or do you want to drop down and get into the fight with them, kind of thing? And that's a cool concept. I don't know that it's going to change. I think one thing they might be trying to do is add more replay value. I've traditionally only played through every Call of Duty game that I've owned, the single player, once. And they might be trying to change that to make you play through it multiple times. The only thing is I don't think that it's worth it for me to do that, even with these little choice selections, because I don't see it as changing the overall outcome of the game. Whereas like an RPG, you make decisions, they make decisions overall, according to the story. With this, they're just decisions like heat of the moment decisions, but overall the same thing is going to occur in the game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about just now, is that it's not going to be a really big thing until there's like morality choices where you can completely change the story. I mean, that would have even been better for Black Ops 2 because it's a game taking place in the future where it should be where the soldier... I mean, apparently the stakes are pretty high here, so you think they'd want to include some choices that can completely change the ending of the game and completely change that world that you're living in by the end of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it would have taken that even bigger step than just deciding which routes to go on, I think it would have been I think it would be much better. Like
the only thing the problem I can see with them doing something like that is that they would have to spend a lot of time in it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see
time on Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have 2 years to develop a game, and Treyarch. In the past, it's been Infinity Ward that's been adding all of the cool new things, and now I see it has flipped. Treyarch's the one that's trying to own the series, to be the notable developer in the series, and it could have something to do with the two creators of Call of Duty are now over there working for EA, right? They're not even there anymore, and it could have kind of been a gut punch to Infinity Ward, what with all the lawsuits and whatnot. And I just can't see Infinity Ward pulling off another absolutely fantastic game anymore just because of it. I mean, they've lost their two, they're pretty much their heart and soul. It's the creators of Call of Duty. Whereas, Treyarch, they've been notoriously a bigger developer, and they haven't they've kind of just built upon. But in this, you can see that they're actually genuinely trying to make a lot of changes to it. But, getting back to the campaign, seeing a campaign like that where it's like a first-person shooter where you can make ultimate changes that change the end of the game, that would be cool, but it would invest a lot of time. And I think that would be time that you're not spending refining the multiplayer, which, when you look at it, the average person that buys a Call of Duty game could spend 200 hours on multiplayer and 10 hours on campaign. And why spend that much time on something that, I mean, it's a nice story, you remember the story for a while, it goes, probably, fit in like a puzzle piece with Black Ops 1, but it's not worth it to invest so much time. I mean, I'd love for a first-person shooter to come out that didn't even have multiplayer and allowed you to do all these things. I'd probably try it out, if it had like an alternate ending, but I don't think that's where Call of Duty belongs, because the consumers that genuinely buy a Call of Duty game have that expectations.
Yeah, that's very true. So do you think, I mean, really, it looks like the only thing that they're changing to that formula is the choice of where you're going to go. And is that really going to... I mean, you're not a big campaign guy, so is that really going to get you into the campaign? I mean, it seems like they're not really... It seems like with Call of Duty in years, they have kind of just fallen off with the campaign. I mean, Black Ops, the campaign was good. I'll admit it. I like the Black Ops campaign. But, I mean, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I just didn't really feel like campaign was really... all that.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about Treyarch, so comparing it to Modern Warfare 1 or Modern Warfare 2 wouldn't really be fair, I guess, because they're two distinctive styles. You look at even the multiplayers, like you can just tell when playing a game, the visual style of Black Ops versus Modern Warfare 2 or 3 is very different. The way they build the guns, the way the guns sound, the way the characters move and stuff.
So do you think they're trying to completely just make each Call of Duty more distinctive than the other, but at the same time just keeping it Call of Duty,
I mean, possibly. Like I said, I think that the choice option is more trying to add replay value, and if that's all they're bringing to the table for the campaign, I can tell you that's probably what they're trying to do, is get people to replay the game so they can try each and every option. but it's probably not going to be enough for
Yeah,
me to want to replay through the whole 8-hour campaign again, especially if there's nothing extremely memorable about it.
it's probably not going to get me either, honestly. I mean, multiplayer is always
Yeah.
a big thing. I think Call of Duty got a good 15 minutes in, so we can move on to Medal of Honor.
Okay.
Let's see. You played a little bit of Medal of Honor. What did you think? Let's start off with what did you think of Medal of Honor 2010?
I would have to say the biggest thing for me was fragmentation, and that's that you play the campaign and you play the multiplayer, and it distinctively feels like two different games. And I mean, essentially the reason is
Did that work against you though?
I think it did because like I said, it feels like you're playing two different games, right? You're playing the campaign, and you have that was running on Unreal Engine 3, and it has a distinctive look to it. And you move over to the multiplayer, and it was a completely different developer, completely different inner workings. If you play Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops, and you go from the campaign to the multiplayer, it's the same game, same control scheme, same guns, same sounds. It's essentially the same game. And this they took two different games and tried to say that they were one, and it in my opinion it didn't really work out all that well. It genuinely did feel like you were playing two different games. That, and at that time in 2010, DICE had a lot on their plate. They had just announced Battlefield 3. Bad Company 2 had come out approximately half a year before, right? It had come out in February, and the game came out October.
EA wanted them to work too hard on it. I mean, I would like to think that EA used DICE to get Medal of Honor 2010 more hype behind it, so that DICE fans would go to Medal of Honor, assuming that they're delivering that good Medal of Honor or that same care that they did for Battlefield. And it's a fun game, the multiplayer and everything. It's fun, but ultimately it was broken, and I think it's because EA did not want them to put too much focus on it, but enough focus for them to at least build something that people can enjoy for a little bit. I mean, I think DICE was just used, honestly.
Yeah. And another thing is the multiplayer wasn't nearly as complex. And again, it's just something that like, oh, DICE is developing the multiplayer, I'll have to check it out. But the thing is when people play it and say, oh, well, this sucks, I'm going back to playing Bad Company 2 at the time, right? And you just kind of feel like, you feel kind of screwed over. And I can't help but feel the same way for the new Medal of Honor, because one of the major selling points of Medal of Honor 2010, and one of the things that EA made sure that you knew, was that if you bought Medal of Honor 2010, you got into the Battlefield 3 beta. And guess what they're doing with this Medal of Honor? If you buy it, you're getting into the Battlefield 4 beta. Exactly.
Yeah.
And although it isn't DICE, and we haven't yet had a good multiplayer experience from we haven't had any multiplayer experience from Danger Close. And
they have. They've made games.
What game is
Honor, they've made Medal of Honors before. They just recently changed their name to Danger Close. Like in Medal of Honor 2010, they changed their name. It was like EA something, but there's the most recent that I know for sure that they made was Medal of Honor Airborne, and it was a fun game, but it also suffered.
Nothing current gen. Which is when multiplayer. It was? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it hasn't been since since Call of Duty 4, since the boom of the fast-paced shooter. That was kind of the beginning of Xbox Live, when people were kind of getting into it, but didn't really, the only really strong multiplayer community at that time was Halo.
Halo, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that was the only one, but I think it's going to be interesting. It looks interesting, and the idea where choose a faction and you pick up those kill streaks or whatever, you pick up those point streaks. Yeah, in the multiplayer, you pick up those point streaks. You pick up that particular gun class, and you kind of become that persona. It's a very interesting idea, and I kind of want to know more about how many of those are going to be. But I'm just afraid of the lack of customization, and if it's going to be able to keep people that have generally been, on Call of Duty who can, I can choose these perks, I can choose this gun, yada yada. If it's going to be able to keep them entertained, if they can only choose a class, it's like, you get this set of perks, and you get to choose this type of weapon, and that's all.
Hopefully they take that actual influence from Medal of Honor 2010, and they have those classes, but you can customize the gun within those classes. You rank up that class Like it's like what DICE uses is that you rank up that class and you unlock stuff for that class, and hopefully that's what they're doing, and hopefully it's just not set. And because I mean, having set classes like that is pretty old, and I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, old Medal of Honor days.
Like I said, Call of Duty 4 was the most revolutionary. Before that, you had defined classes. You look at Call of Duty 3, you had 5 selections, and each of them was a particular gun type. And Call of Duty 4 just shattered that and changed it for everything. And even Battlefield 3 has been changed. So
yeah.
Anyway, I think it's about time for me to go, actually. So.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Which one are you more excited for, though? Let me know.
At this point, it seems like Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2? All right.
All right, then. We'll talk to you later.
See ya, Stock.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was the Stock. I play games with him, including in what he thought about Black Ops 2 and Medal of Honor Warfighter. We didn't get to touch on campaign, and they seem to have changed the campaign a lot. I mean, I thought Medal of Honor Warfighter was going to be a direct continuation of Medal of Honor 2010, but it seems like they're taking it and making it its own thing, which I guess is I'm okay with, but I'm just going to miss the Middle Eastern setting and feeling like it's a real place that I can go to and all of that. But besides that, Medal of Honor 2010 is actually my pick that I am most excited for because it's different from Call of Duty, it's different from Battlefield, and I play both, I enjoy both, and it's just nice, and I'm willing to welcome in another game to enjoy. I hope you guys tuned in long enough for this part. It's a pretty long video, and I want to thank you for coming in. Let me know in the comment section below which game you're excited for, why you're excited for it. Just let me know. I'm really interested in seeing which game is most popular along with gamers right now, because Modern Warfare 3 came in, disappointed a lot of Call of Duty players, and that was a good time for EA to strike, which they're coming in hard with Medal of Honor Warfighter. Battlefield 3 took away some players, and it's interesting to see these two games go against each other right now, and I want to know which ones you guys are excited for, Black Ops 2, Medal of Honor Warfighter. Let me know in the comment section below, please. And that was your media detox for today. I will catch you guys later. Like the video, like the Facebook page, follow on Twitter. I almost forget it. Follow on Twitter and subscribe. I will catch you guys later.